just as we predicted, Bitcoin saw 40,000 and then double bottomed at 36,500, and now we're seeing all new highs above 41,000 US dollars. I'm going to talk about where Bitcoin is headed next and how we predicted this, because if you guys are staying up to date in our Discord, you can see as soon as Bitcoin was at 38,900 today at 1:35 a.m., I said I don't believe we've seen a blow off top. Volume is minimal. We are below daily open, but so far above the weekly and monthly open. And if we're above the weekly and monthly open, you guys know that's extremely bullish. And I said there's not much retail or institutional sell pressure, almost like 40,000 was just a pit stop. And I even said here we double bottomed at 36,500, and that's pretty bullish. And exactly as we predicted, we are now seeing all new highs. I'm going to talk about where Bitcoin is headed, but most importantly, I want you guys to realize what happened at 40,000, because this is going to teach you a lot about how institutions think. Remember to like this video if you appreciate this content. Now, check this out. When we came to 40,000 US dollars, we saw this massive sell pressure come in, and that was most likely an institution putting the brake on Bitcoin's price to see whether or not retail traders were going to react to the downside pressure. And of course, we saw a small reaction down to 36,500, and at the time this was the daily open, and we took a long here, if you guys are in our Discord, at that $36,500 level, as you guys know. And as soon as we saw that long take place, we hit all targets because this got immediately bought up by retail investors. And then we saw a retest of 36,500, and we actually, to the candle on the dollar, double bottomed at 36,500. That is an extremely bullish pattern on the micro, and in the macro, we're seeing extremely bullish pressure here for Bitcoin. And so understanding the way that institutions think, now that they realize, okay, this is obviously not the price zone that retail traders are going to start selling at, they're continuing to put more buy pressure into the market, and that's why we're starting to see more and more buy volume and further price increase. And so far right now, 40,000 is not where we're going to see a blow off top. It is just a pit stop, and you can see right now at 41,000, we have yet to see major sell pressure. Even if we go to a 1 minute chart, you can see here so much more buy pressure than sell pressure. And in my opinion, that is extremely bullish for Bitcoin to head to 50,000 US dollars. And that is a very reasonable target in the next week to 2 weeks. And of course, this is all very dynamic and can change. And so as long as you guys are keeping up with our YouTube videos, remember to subscribe and turn on the post notifications. As soon as we start to see price movements, I will make a video and update you guys. But of course, what you're seeing right now is still extremely bullish momentum for Bitcoin. We saw a double bottom, which was extremely bullish, and a lot of people are drawing out these wedges and stuff. I even said it in the Discord. I don't necessarily like wedge patterns so much. I even said this year, I never liked the wedge patterns, but they play a role. More importantly, we bounced on the hourly 50 period, which is a solid place for a continuation. So you can see if we pull up that hourly 50 period moving average, we actually bounced here and double bottomed when it comes to market structure. And so that to me was just extremely bullish, and that's why I assumed we were going to see higher price levels, and that's exactly what's happening right now. All these people drawing wedges and stuff, for me personally, I don't like wedges as patterns. I like support levels, resistance levels, and of course ascending and descending support and resistance levels also work for me. But when it comes to a wedge, I mean, you can draw a wedge any way you want, but with a support level, it's only a support and only a resistance. And so that's why I prefer those over wedges. But of course, Bitcoin is continuing to the upside, and a lot of you guys are telling me, well, are altcoins going to continue higher as well? And you can see with Ethereum, we're seeing a little bit of weakness. We're seeing some sell pressure, but I don't think this is anything to worry about just yet. Yes, we came back into this market structure, which wasn't the best, but we're still above the weekly open and the monthly open, which to me is extremely bullish. But for now, as Bitcoin goes up, what happens to altcoins is they will consolidate. But when Bitcoin consolidates, and the higher that Bitcoin consolidates, the higher altcoins will go while Bitcoin is consolidating. But for now, if Bitcoin is going to continue higher and potentially to that 50,000 US dollar mark, well, of course, altcoins are not going to just start rallying just yet until we start to see Bitcoin's consolidation. But I am still fine with altcoin season being here, because you can see we're below the monthly open with Bitcoin dominance. We're kind of testing that weekly open right now, and when we look at others' dominance, more importantly, you can see we are still above the weekly open, which is very positive for me. Of course, we're under the monthly open, but as long as we're between the weekly and monthly open with the others dominance, that to me is a good sign. And remember what we're waiting for here. We're waiting to see this retest of these weekly moving averages when it comes to others dominance. And interestingly enough, I want to actually point out what's happening to the US dollar. So I think this has a big influence on why we saw a massive push down for Bitcoin at 40,000. You can see we're actually starting to see a little bit of a possible reversal pattern here. We are above the weekly and monthly open when it comes to the DXY, and we've yet to break down from 89.562 on a daily chart. You can see we've only really wicked below that major support level, and that's very similar to how we bottomed out here when we started to see the dollar rally. And keep in mind, if the dollar rallies, then Bitcoin will come down, assets will come down in price, stocks will come down, because when the dollar strengthens, assets, they drop in price. When the dollar is weak and the purchasing power is not there, we'll see asset prices increase and inflate. And so right now you can see we're kind of seeing what happened here in 2018 when the dollar just pretty much bottomed out. And this was also when Bitcoin had its initial rally to 20,000 US dollars. And so we want to watch this US dollar to see whether or not we are going to maintain above the weekly and monthly open. I don't think it's a red flag just yet because we've yet to see a violent reversal when it comes to the DXY. But for now, we want to watch whether or not it's going to stay above that weekly and monthly open and see a continuation higher and continues to form higher highs, because if that's the case and we start to see a violent move to the upside, possibly even towards 91.015 and then even beyond that, then we have to be a little bit concerned about the dollar strengthening and a potential short-term pullback when it comes to asset classes, because when we look at all assets, we're seeing a major increase in price, not just in Bitcoin. And you can see this gold to Bitcoin chart, Bitcoin just dominating gold right now. You can see gold is really just the loser here. You can see we're below the monthly and weekly open. I expect this to continue. Of course, we already broke the previous 2017 bottom, and now we're seeing Bitcoin really take the market cap of gold away, and that to me is just institutions taking capital away from gold and hedging it into this new digital gold, which is Bitcoin, of course. And I do want to talk about our stock signals because I'm getting a lot of questions from our members. These are signals that our analysts send out. I want to just go through one stock signal with you guys. This will teach you a lot, even if you don't trade stocks, and this might help those that are trading stocks. But when we have buy limit orders, they're very different than buy stop orders and just normal buy orders. So I'll just go over this MMM signal that was sent out yesterday by one of our analysts, and I'll teach you exactly how to trade these stock signals. So all of our stock signals are sent out pre-market open. So markets open at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. And typically the stock signals we send out are in a batch, and they are all buy limit orders of stocks that are seeing a major decline for some fundamental or technical reason. And so we always have an entry price as a buy limit where the price is yet to reach that, but during pre-market we're starting to see that price is heading towards that area, and usually these prices are major support levels and major gaps, and typically they are gaps where we'll most likely see a major price reaction. And so I want to talk about how this plays out. I'll even go to the minute chart because stock signals are really intraday signals. A lot of them are swing trades and day trades. So you can see with 3M yesterday, we opened right here around that $173 level, and our entry price was right down at 166.38. So if I were to actually draw a line here at where our entry was, it was at 166.38. And so what that means is you don't want to enter unless we start to come down to that price level and we touch that price level, because that's a major price level where we're expecting a price reaction. And you can see what happened during the intraday session yesterday with 3M. As we started to come down below that $170 level, as 10 a.m. hit, we came down to our exact price target. That means that this trade is now open, and that's why there's expiration times to these trades, because they're meant to be intraday trades in the morning session. And so as soon as we hit that target, now you saw that amazing reaction to the upside, which resulted in massive profits. If you took this trade, over 2.3% profits without any leverage, and we had our stop loss set just below that at 165.50. And so we have very tight stop losses with these stock signals as well to ensure that you can preserve capital properly. And so that's how you play buy limit orders. You're basically catching a price. It's the opposite of a buy stop order where you're trying to catch a breakout, or a sell stop order where you're trying to catch a breakdown. So I hope that helps a little bit. And with Bitcoin, we are extremely parabolic right now. You can see 41,500 already. We're going to head towards that $42,000 level. I'm expecting some sort of a pullback here. And really, this is a perfect opportunity to talk about how to watch volume on the smaller time frames. So you can see here, we're watching this volume, so much buy pressure in comparison to sell pressure here. And this is what you want to see in a very bullish trend. And so we can assume we're going to see higher price levels so far because we're just rallying and we're yet to see as much sell pressure than buy volume on the 1 minute chart. And so if you are day trading, the 1 minute chart could really give you a good idea of how much pressure there is on the buy or sell side. So this is extremely interesting to watch here. You can see until we start to see massive sell pressure, we're going to continue to rally here. And I do have that $42,000 level as our target. But I am going to wrap this video up. I hope you appreciated this content. If so, like the video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And until next time, snipers out. Bitcoin to the moon, baby.